people who are watching, we're recording this on the 2nd of October 2023. You are looking forward to a particular date, which is the 8th of October of this year. Tell me why you're looking forward to that day.
I'm looking forward to the 8th of October because on the 8th of October, we've got the live album recording, and it's going to be an incredible night. We're going to be doing the whole album, everything left unsaid, full live bands, full production, and it's going to be an amazing night. I'm genuinely looking forward to it, and I can't wait for the night itself.
Nice. And how is the preparation for the concert? Give us an honest overview about, because a lot of people will come and they really enjoy the event, I'm sure. But give us a little insight into the preparation for the event. Tell me what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, we're doing back-to-back rehearsals. We are locked in. The band are locked in. The choir are locked in. There's so many different aspects to what we're doing that are currently locked in, and we're just working hard to make the night as incredible as possible. And I cannot wait to see how God is going to do His thing on the night.
And what would you say is your one main hope for the event? What do you want people to live with?
The one main hope that I have, I just want the night to be a success. I want people to see Christ in a new way. I want there to be I want a sold out show. I just want it to be an experience for anyone who comes. They come to the night and they're like, "Yo, this was an experience."
You mentioned Christ in a new way. I'm kind of curious about that. What is it about Christ that you have learned that you would like to share with people?
I think for me it's just how real He is. I think when it comes to my walk with Christ and my faith, the reality of Christ and how present He is something that I want people to experience, and something I daily want to remind myself of in and outside of my art.
Mm. Nice. And there's a few supporting acts as well. Could you tell us about some other people in the lineup as well?
Yeah, we have some incredible people. JL Polion, Laura Ehio, Condo Seven, Bonnie Morgan and New Yi. Like, these are just people who I am genuinely a fan of, and I appreciate their artistry, and individuals who are absolutely going to do amazing works on the night.
Mm. And for those who don't know, as far as gospel music and as far as rap is concerned, you've been doing your thing for a minute, haven't you, mate? Like, you have been doing it for a while. Like, when did you all start? Like, what was the particular year you started?
We started back in 2005. 2005 is when I started, and it's been a long journey, but it's been a great one, and one that we've still got many years ahead of us, and I can't wait to see what God does in the future.
So how did it all started? What prompted you to get into the ministry that has lasted this long?
I think it was just my faith in the grand scheme of things. My faith played a big, massive role into my art form and the expression in which I've chosen to run with, and then just my love for music. I just love creating. I love writing, and the combination of the two allowed for me just to develop the passion and the desire that I have to create and share and yeah.
And Triple O, what's the meaning behind the name Triple O for those that don't know?
For those, it's just my initials. It's my full name. Nothing fancy, nothing special. It's just my initials.
And give us a brief overview of your testimony and how it links to the music ministry that you've been doing now.
When it comes to my testimony, you're talking about someone who grew up in a Christian home. I had Christian family and upbringing, but it wasn't until maybe when I turned about 18, somebody sat me down and properly explained what the gospel was to me, and I came to the knowledge of Christ, and that's when my walk completely changed and shifted. It hasn't been easy, it hasn't been smooth, and every day I'm learning. But yeah, that's what happened for me. And then for me, I always then said, how can I share this truth in my music? And things just go from there.
And obviously Christian rap is growing now, and it has grown for over the years. But is there any OGs back in the day that inspired you to kind of pick the mic and do it? Any Christian rappers back in the day? Is there anyone who inspires you that you could give a shout out?
Yeah, I mean, individuals like Dwayne Triumph, Jahazo, Green Jades, Zion Noise, Blessed Son, Royal Priesthood. These were the individuals that were doing it before I was doing it, and individuals whom I look up to and I respect when they were doing their thing and up until now, those that are still engaging in the art form.
So let's go memory lane for a little bit. The first project, or one of your first projects, is Grime to Gospel. Tell us the inspiration and the heart behind that.
From grime to gospel, out of the darkness into the light, like transitioning. It's your decision. From grime to gospel, out of the darkness into the light, like transitioning. It's your decision. From grime to gospel, out of the darkness into the light. Come out of the darkness into the light. Come out of the darkness into the light. Bright light, like realize we need to make changes. Long process, but we do it in stages. Systematically making the right steps to burning the wrong steps. I'm reading the right pages from my lyric book. I'm sick and tired of MCs with bars and books, facilitating, hating, real degrading, disabling. Youth, I'm changing.
Yeah, Grime to Gospel. Oh wow, that was, I think it was like 2008 if I'm not mistaken, and it was a single. And for me, it was just I was really influenced by grime culture at that time, and wanting to make something that was sounding energetic and cold, like, very like powerful, and hence the double time. We almost went triple time flowing on there. Was just everything was just real technical and fast, and yeah, it was a moment. It was a moment. I remember performing that song at GL Live, and opening for Lecrae, and yeah, it's a monumental song for me in my catalog.
Well, we can't let that pass. That you open for Lecrae, and what was the interaction with Lecrae at the time as well? Did you interact with him backstage, and what was it like?
Yeah, it was. I mean, the conversations I had with Craig were cool. We ended up building a relationship and engaged from time to time when he's around, and yeah, it's a few years ago, but it's a beautiful part of the story that God has allowed me to write.
So moving on, you released a mixtape, one of my favorite mixtapes called Supersonicteer. How did that come about? And yeah, tell us more about it.
Supersonicteer, it was literally just me. I just wanted to rap. I was in a season where I just wanted just to write bars. I didn't want to focus on any concept. I didn't want to have any sense of, oh, this is the reason. I just wanted to write, and we did that. And yeah, it's a project that to this day I'm still very proud of.
My favorite track from that mixtape is the Mind the Gap one. I mean, just the lyrics there, just from beginning to end. I just love the monologue, no hook, just straight fire bars. You said quite a lot. What tell me your heart behind the lyrics, and also, yeah, just the inspiration behind it? Because, bro, you said so much in that. Like, for me, that's one of the best lyrics I've heard, like, hands down.
I'll be honest with you, my bro. I have not listened to that song in a couple of years, and I can't remember the headspace I was in when I wrote it. But I just remember just saying, I just want to write. I want to just rhyme and just.
Let's try this. I'm gonna say the first stanza, and I'll see if you could tell
Go
the
for
now
it.
one. Heartfelt
Go for
rhyme
it.
for the gospel, so I just tell it how it is.
Heartfelt rhymes for the gospel, so I just tell it how it is. Lamentations lyrics with an SOS twist. Modern day chronicles, how they wanna be kings. They don't even have a job, the numbers no genesis. For the power trip.
Bro, yo, when I tell you, I have not even. It's been years, but it's one of those. Every song I've written, I write with purpose and intention. But because when I look back at my catalog, I'm looking at songs. I think we're coming up to about 150 songs in our catalog. So like, to remember all of them, it gets harder and harder with every new project that we release.
I hear you. And then moving on, you started the Overnight Garden music series, which, unlike the mixtape, it was just you rapping. There's a particular theme that you were trying to communicate with this, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Overnight Garden was a series centered around relationship, love, and dealing with heartbreak.
It's caught me by surprise. Truth is never knew this would ever happen this way for me. But now I realize.
It was very biographical in that capacity, and just allowed me to unpack a few things and just share some truths and just have some real honest dialogue concerning the matter of the heart. So, you know, the Overnight Garden is, again, it's a part of the journey that I always look back fondly on. I always look back very fondly on.
And then I would be remiss if we do not talk about the Come Home single, bro.
I don't deserve to be close. Done some things they don't know, but I can softly hear you saying come home. I don't deserve to be close. Done some things they don't know, but I can softly hear you saying come home. Home, 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 home.
The impact. I mean, tell me everything from the writing process, and also, did you expect the impact? I mean, people were remixing on it. It was on rotation everywhere. Tell us about how that song came about, and also why you surprised by the impact. Also featuring Sale Martin, big up. I don't know what he's up to nowadays, but big up, big fan of what he did on the song. But tell us everything about that you can about the song.
Come Home, yeah, it was just, again, one of those monumental songs which I look back on so fondly in my career. And I remember when I first heard the beat, I thought this was such an amazing piece of production, and I thought it would be great to tell like a very heartfelt story, and we kind of built it upon the story of the prodigal son. And I had no idea it was going to connect with people the way it connected with people. So to then see the impact it had and how people really resonated with the content, that was like amazing. That was really, really, really amazing. So I'm grateful to God for that song and the impact that it has.
And why did you not do a video for it? I mean, of all those songs, you should have done the video for it, right?
I think it was just the season that I was in. It's less not wanting to and more not being able to. I mean, we put a little cutaway video, a highlight reel, which we put out, but yeah, we just never had at the time, never had the resources to do so. It's just a fact of life.
Yeah, I hear that. So one thing I like about you is that you like to share your heart in your music, and you're passionate about the issue of mental health as well. Why mental health?
Just wanna be a better man till it's better, man. Travelers got to life, I need a better plan. Circumstances, second chances. Left up me some cause, but I really need me a better hand. I just wanna be a better man till it's better, man. Travelers got to life, I need a better plan. Circumstances, second chances. Left up me some cause, but I really need me a better hand. My brother from another mother, he bought his first home. Baby number 2 helped him to move, living next to an old flame that got down.
Because mental health is important because it's something that I've wrestled with. It's something that a lot of my friends have wrestled with. I see people around me dealing with it, and the culture is prevalent. So I thought to myself, I wanted to make sure that, you know, with the music I was addressing topics that people could relate to and that really resonated with them, and really struck a chord with where they were at in their own personal lives. So that's literally where that one comes from.
And I guess the project Cry Like a Man, it kind of had the theme of mental health embedded in it, right? Would I be right in saying that? Cry Like a Man.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Cry Like a Man was centered around dealing with mental health as a man and the complexities that are attached to having battles in the minds that would stop one from kind of navigating through life the way they would want to. So yeah, that's where Cry Like a Man came from. Just being, you know, as men, the plea for us to be kind of being very open and honest and vulnerable with where we were in our lives.
I mean, in terms of men and mental health, what do you think are some of the things that are apparent in our culture that need to be undone in order to have like better mental health? Or in your discussions, what do you feel are some of the things that cause mental health issues to be a serious issue? How can we avoid like getting into those stages where our mental health is in like a really bad situation?
Yeah, I would just say just men having honest conversations, being willing to be vulnerable, open up, and have dialogue in and amongst themselves, so they're able to really just unpack truths and things that they're wrestling with, and so the culture can move away from the things that they struggle to unpack.
Or is it the fact that it's a man thing just to talk about football and music, and they don't really get personal? Is it that thing about that the guys don't really like to talk a lot?
Yeah, I would say the men struggle to be vulnerable with one another, and I think that could be a very dangerous space to be in. And I think if men had the opportunity to be more vulnerable with one another, they'd find themselves in a much better space.
And do you think this is an issue in like the body of Christ as well, that men don't
Oh
really
yeah,
talk?
100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. I think if men spoke more, they'd be able to do more.
Mm. Mm. And is this, and remember the Idemina days? Is that what you have behind it, trying to get men to talk and that kind of stuff? Was Idemina like the heart behind that?
Yeah, I mean, for those who are unfamiliar with Edomina, Edomina stood for Eagle Demeanor, and it was just a men's group, men's fellowship that I started a couple of years ago, and it was just an opportunity for men to be vulnerable with one another and just have honest, open conversation and dialogue. And yeah, that was literally the heart behind the group, the fellowship, and the community that we were building.
Mm. Mm. So you're building this community. Um, you've been doing this to 2005. Fast forward to 2011, you won your first Mobo Award for Best Gospel Act. What does that mean to you?
And the winner for Best Gospel Act is
Triple O! Oh wow. Keep it short and sweet. I just want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for giving me this opportunity to make music on his behalf. I want to thank my family and my friends, everyone who supported. I want to shout out to the other nominees. Well done. We won this, guys. And to UK Gospel, rise up. Things are moving forward. God bless you.
It's an honor to have an establishment like the Mobos recognize the work that we're doing and really champion Christian music the way that they did. And at the time, I was shocked. I didn't really expect it, but I look back on it very fondly, and I'm just grateful to God for the doors that it did open for me.
And then fast forward again to this current album, and one of the theme that has been through your music is vulnerability. Vulnerability. Is it not scary to be vulnerable, to really share about what you're struggling with? Especially as obviously you're a rapper, but in Christian circles, people might view you as a minister, and there's this idea of you have to be, a certain way or live according to a certain standard, but you're really vulnerable about the things that you're struggling with. Do you find it scary to do that? I'd say, is it scary to do that?
It's scary, but it's necessary. It's scary, but it's necessary. I mean, it's one of the things I always pride myself on all my albums. Just they're statement pieces as to where I am in life. So whether it's Flatline or Zero Not Equal to One, or more recently Everything Left Unsaid, they're just snapshots of where I am in life, and allow me to just unpack where I am, unpack my relationship with God, but then at the same time giving people something that they can connect with when they listen back to the music. And I think that vulnerability brings about the connection.
And so, I mean, in terms of ministry, is there an expectation? Do you think there's an expectation, or rather, how do you deal with the expectation that you have to be in a certain way, and how do you, in other words, what I'm saying, because you're like in the public space, do you feel like it's like a huge responsibility to set an example? And is that too much pressure on you to do that? Is that something that you're mindful of, the fact that people are watching you and people are watching your life, and so there's that kind of added pressure? And also, I don't know what still, but more still, I'd say, because you are a rapper who raps about the gospel, you are viewed as a minister, and there's that pressure. Like, how do you deal with all that?
I think people used to put pressure on themselves and on ministers back in the day because, you know, it was the thing to do. But I think now people are now in a space where we know that ministers are people, and they're going to navigate through their own trials and tribulations the same way everybody else does. And I don't put that pressure on myself. I always pride myself on just being honest with my walk and being open with my walk and with my struggles, and whoever can connect with that will connect with it, and whoever will judge one for that will judge one for that. I cannot be bound to the opinions of man. So you know, we just keep it moving and ensure that the walk that we're walking is pleasing unto God.
Cool. So obviously we've talked about the heart behind your album. So you said everything I left unsaid. What the meaning behind, what was the heart behind the? I know it's self-explanatory, but why that? Why did you choose to call your album that?
To a child of Zion, the first in my lineage. The world is not as scary as it seems, so look at the stitches and the scars. Every Mark, Luke, John, Matthew to Revelation. That's New Testament grace with Old Testament faith.
Everything left unsaid is purely just focused around like the thing. It's a love letter, and it's an album that's focused and centered around legacy. And there are things in life that I may not get the opportunity to say to the people that need to hear them. So this was my opportunity of saying those things to those who need to hear those things. And in essence, this is everything left unsaid.
Nice. You collaborated with personally my favorite rapper, The Truth. How did that come about? Cause bro, I love that song and it's incredible. But tell me about the process by which how you reached out to him and the whole recording process.
They say if you look into the future, then you're stricken with dread. Look too deep into the past and you live with regrets. So I'm in the present, getting some rest. White chocolate mocha, good music in the biblical text. Boy, already said sorry for the things that I done.
Yeah. I mean, Truth is one rapper that I've always grown up listening to, and someone who I have a lot of respect for. And we recently, a couple of years ago, built a decent relationship where by the time he came over here, and I just think it was through those interactions and those relationships I was able to reach out to him once I had a song that I wanted him to do, and it just kind of all fell together nicely. And you know, he recorded over there in the States, and he heard the instrumental, heard my verse, and then he said, yeah, he'd love to be a part of the record, and it just went from there.
And would you say restoration is another theme that is prevalent in your album, like restoration?
Oh yeah,
how
100%.
important is it to you in like you kind of keep that as one of the main things you're trying to convey? Why is that?
Yeah, because it just gives people, restoration is about that sense of reconciliation in terms of giving people an opportunity to know that they can start again and they can come back and they have a fresh beginning and just that newness in Christ, and sometimes hearing those messages of hope can be really, really encouraging to somebody's walk in their day-to-day life. So yeah, that was definitely one of the key themes on the album.
As well as artists in America, you've also throughout the years have been building with artists throughout the ages, especially when grime was quite like the main genre while we were growing up. To name a few, I mean, you'd say you were brothers even with guys like FaithChildtv, Pressure J, Governor B, those kind of guys. How important has that been, that being in that but being in that network of friends, and how has that benefited you as a person and as an artist?
Yeah, I would say collaboration is key to growth, and having those guys there is nice to kind of just being able to bounce off of them and, you know, see their successes and their moves and their journeys and learning from one another and pushing each other to do better, pushing each other to do more. So it's always nice to kind of have that iron sharpen iron type, you know, set up in this music thing. And
one key guy that you know on your socials you never fail to big up is FaithChildtv. What is there you love about, you know, FaithChildtv and his growth, and what is it that some of the things that you've learned from him or learned from each other rather?
Yeah, when I scream and waffle, he won't desert me. Even if I crumble, he's rich in grace and mercy. Taste and see that the Lord is good, his love is sweet like Hershey's. Faith and government name, Mike and Ike from early. His love is
Faith is one of the best performers I've ever seen. His ability to control and engage a crowd is incredible. His wordplay is second to none, and his ability to pick quality production is something that is enviable at least. So he's just an artist who I have the opportunity to have such a great relationship, and someone who has been doing this longer than I have. So that's a testament in and of itself. So no, that's just a brother. That's a brother for me, man.
And I know you're not done yet, even though you have been doing music for quite a while. What would be your advice for the artists coming alongside you? What would you advise to them for any emerging artists who are working behind you? And are you in the future or even now, are you thinking of mentoring the people following you? Tell me all about that.
Yeah, I would say the two key things are consistency and collaboration. Be consistent with your output, keep putting music out, just keep putting music out, and collaborate. We're in an age of collaboration. That's how you build growth. I'm always working with new artists. I'm always mentoring and supporting new artists. There are a lot of people that I've had the opportunity to work with and support and mentor and have conversations with behind the scenes that people may not even be aware of. And for me, it's just about supporting people who are good at what they do, who need that help, who need that exposure, and who I feel I can be of service to.
So, please don't hurt me with this question, but it's a bit of a sensitive one. I'm hurting, bro. But back in my day, my genre was grime, and to be quite fair, all I'm hearing is drill. So, you having done grime for quite a while, and please give me the news as you would a doctor telling somebody that he's not going to make it. But do you think grime is dead?
Whose name Yeshua Elohim is the name I proclaim. This goes out to the second call by 2 hours ambassadors rep for the kingdom. Move on authority, conquer the minions. Fire replays like Jeremiah symptoms. Like Simpson, first name Homer. Everyone screaming out.
It's quite no. Grime's not dead. Grime's not dead.
How would you say that? Because I know a lot of people have said that. Even the gospel scene, they've said it's dead.
Yeah, Grime's not dead because there are still artists making grime music. It's not as popular as it once was, and it's not as prevalent as it once was. But grime isn't dead, and I feel like if you open your eyes and your ears and take the time to look for grime music, it's still there. Music is like fashion; it has its cycles, it has its ups, its downs, and there are going to be some genres that are more popular than others in certain periods. And I think now we're just in the era where Afro beats and Afro music is number one at the moment, which is fine, and eventually that's going to change. So. Is grime dead? No. Is it as popular as it once was? No.
Can it come back? Do you think
can it come back? 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you want to do more grime tracks?
I've always, that will always be an element of where I'm from in terms of my writing style and my cadence and my delivery. So that will always be there. You will always hear an element of that grime type music in the projects that I make. Even if it's a thing or the minimum of having at least one grime song on every album. So far we've done that, whether it be on Everything Left Unsaid, where we had Kingship, or on 0 Not Equal to 1, where we had I'm Not About That, or on Flatline, there was quite a bit on grime. So it's always been there on my projects, and it will always be a part of the type of music I make.
So moving past the weekend, hopefully when it's all said and done, what should we expect from you in the future?
Just new music. Expect new music. That's we're going to be collaborating with some amazing artists, and we're just going to be making some amazing music. So that's what I would say. People should expect to see and hear.
So you're a married man. How has that dynamic sort of benefited or sort of affected your way as a creative? And also, just what's married life like, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I would say married life is amazing. I'm enjoying it. And it's just nice to know that you have someone there who supports everything that I do and is encouraging and wants to see me win. So I wouldn't have it any other way.
And in regards to how how it affects your music and all that kind of stuff is like the support that you get and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like it's kind of giving you an edge that you wouldn't otherwise have if?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I can write. I'm now writing about things I haven't written about before, and I have a sense of renewed inspiration for the music.
Do you think we're gonna have like an overnight garden now that, as a married man, like maybe another audition?
That was always a plan. The last one was to be, it was always going to be written from the perspective of marriage. So at some point there will definitely be an overnight garden for.
Cool. Yeah, thank you so much for this. So just a few more questions moving forward. What do you think the scene needs? I was gonna say the gospel music industry, but for some they think the term industry, we're not ready for that kind of term yet. But what do you think the scene needs? The gospel music scene needs at the moment?
Just more quality music. It's already producing quality music. We just need more of it, and I think when we get even more of it, everything will just fall into place. So I'm just gonna say more quality music. Not that there isn't a lot. There's an incredible amount already. We just need more of it.
And among your peers, do you have honest conversations about, bro, that thing in the studio, you need to go again, it's whack? Do you have those? Because, do you feel like sometimes people are willing to take constructive criticism and not take it personally? And how important is that, or how instrumental is that kind of mentality in regards to getting to that quality stage?
I would say that for me personally, I have people that I can kind of be honest with and have those honest conversations with and get good feedback from. And then the artists that I'm close to, I can give that honest feedback to. I don't know about if everyone has that, but I know I do. And I think it's the only way that your artistry will improve and it will stop you from putting out subpar work. Those conversations can be hard to have, but they're beneficial in the long run.
Come to think of it, I do remember you in your documentary that you actually edited and filmed most of it. You did actually have a lot of listening sessions and people would tell you like it is. You kind of like that, don't you? You don't want to just say yes, man, do you?
No, yeah, that's how you get the best out of what you're doing.
Cool. Well, yeah, thank you very much for your time, bro. And one thing I've always asked the artists in the past, and I would like to ask you is, what do you love about serving the Lord Jesus?
Just a sense of renewed hope and faith, and the ability to just know that I've got everlasting life in Him. There's that peace. It's overwhelming. It's all one needs in this thing that we call the life.
Bro, thank you so much for your time, and yeah,
it's all love, my G.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Blessings.
Never match this. Flame on the tip like a matchstick. Got the wind doing cartwheels and the oceans that I see doing backflips.